Welcome to another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Darrell Ryder coming to you from Brown's Training Camp at Cross Country Mortgage Campus in Berea. Day 10 is in the books. It was the final practice open to fans. Let's start on the injury front. Some good news. Myles Garrett returned to practice on Monday. Good to see 95 back out there. However, we learned that rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel also dealing with a hamstring injury. He joins veteran Kenny Pickett with the same. Both were limited during Monday's practice. We did hear from both rookie quarterbacks prior to practice on Monday. Let's start with Shedeur Sanders, who had a lot to say. He touched on everything from his dad beating bladder cancer to keeping him away from training camp here in Berea. And also, too, discussing his reps and opportunities here in the preseason. Here's the best of Shedeur from Monday morning.
I think every rep I get in general is valuable. You know, we definitely taking things up a notch, I would say, with everything. So every rep, you know, anytime I step on the field, I take it, you know, like it could be my last, because you don't know. There's players that we was just practicing with last week that's not here no more. So like I said, it's more about a bond. It's more about going all out. It's more about, you know, how you'll be remembered. I would definitely say mentally, even regardless if people, if media, you know, have good ways or bad ways that come about me, you know, I'm more mature in not making those same mistakes I made, you know, in college or whatever I did. So, you know, I treat everybody with respect and with care, and whenever everybody gets over, you know, their own hate towards me for their own weird reason, then, you know, everything will be back good. So that's it. That's where I grew the most, is I'll say mentally. What I'll say is definitely stay focused mentally. Dad, he's one person that he'll handle his. We handle what we got to do. So it was something that, you know, we really ain't need to have no formal conversation about, because it was like, y'all need to focus on what y'all can focus on. Y'all can't, you know, sit here and feel sorry for me, and then that's affecting y'all doing that. So we all knew, because our family be talking in group chats and everything. So, but at the end of the day, y'all able to see and y'all able to understand, you know, everything on the field, off the field, you know, what I go through. So then, you know, you got to be some type of human at some point in the way, how I'm doing everything and how I'm handling everything that's thrown at me. You know, you got no choice but to applaud at that. Yeah, I don't think not getting out the mix is even a thought in my mind, you know, in any room. So I know I have the utmost standards for myself, and I know all I could do is go out there and do what I got to do every day and make as minimal mistakes. And I know it's long ways to go with everything, and I know, you know, I lack experience on this realm and on this level, but one thing I can hang my hat on is, in all pressure situations, you know who I am. I don't want him coming to see me right now, because I want to get to where I want to go then for him to see me. I don't want him to come and see me, you know, get a couple reps and, you know, he's cheering like a good dad. Like, nah, you can't be proud of me right now. I got to get to where I'm going, and I know it's a lot I got to do to get there. So it's kind of like I just want everything that I'm doing is just like focus on this time, and I don't want no distractions, because we know how the media, we know how everybody will take it and take away from the team just from him being my own dad showing up. So, you know, it's a gift and a curse at the same time. I'm excited, I'll say overall, you know, being able to be healthy, to come to practice today, and being able to go against the actual defense and, you know, get live reps and everything. So I'm just thankful I prepare each day, you know, as such, and I stay focused throughout everything. So whenever it is my time to get out there, I'll be able to be myself. How do I block out the noise? I would say it always been, like, I always face adversity, you know, since growing up. In each level, it always been something. So you just know how, when you figure out how people come at you, and life is a cycle, it keeps repeating over and over and over, then you understand, you know, what game this is or what they're doing. You know, so I can never feel less than. Nobody could ever make me mentally get out of position in the situation I am. I'm thankful for who I am. I'm thankful for who my dad is. I'm thankful for my family, and, you know, no one can make me feel bad about the blessing that I do have.
Does that make it hard for you to trust people?
Nah, I feel like trust is a deep thing, but it's different levels of trust. You know, Overall, it's a lot of people that you'll trust driving your car, but it's a lot of people that you wouldn't trust taking your kids somewhere, or dropping your wife off at home. So it's different levels of trust overall. So it don't make me hard because I start out neutral. I start out with neutral. It's a couple familiar faces I see out here, but others not so much. But I don't have a problem with anybody, so I live life free. But then, whenever it's negative, then it's like, all right, you done caused this now. But nah, I stay neutral with everything. I don't really treat everybody with utmost respect. You haven't heard anything negative about my character in a minute.
Gabriel has struggled for much of camp, but the rookie is expected to play, if healthy, against the Carolina Panthers along with Sanders. Gabriel touched on a lot of things, including the process. We've heard a lot of that these first couple of weeks. The Browns coaching staff more focused on process over results. Here's the best of Gabriel prior to practice.
I don't look at it through 2 weeks how I think I'm doing. I think just day to day, I think there's a lot of growth, and that's from when I first got here up until now. And I think it's forever evolving, and I want to continue to be better and continue to grow. And there's ups and downs and ebbs and flows within the competition field of play. That's just what happens. And for me, I just want to continue to be better than I was yesterday. It's life, I think for many, it's what you put yourself out there as a competitor. Of course, you want certain results, but sometimes it doesn't always go your way. And there's a lot of things that collectively we can help one another out and be better in certain aspects. And it starts with me as the quarterback who touches the ball every single play, but that's just it's the ultimate team sport, and that's why you love competing in it and love playing the game. For me, I go back to pros are pros and reps are reps. I think when you get in there, you do go through your progressions and you go through your pre-snap ways of operating. But for the most part, I think, there's a lot of great players on the field at all times, and you got to compete at a high level no matter what. So if I were to change how my approach was per ones, twos, threes, whatever it may be, then I'm not serving the moment for who I want to be every single rep.
What is it that you're looking to accomplish Friday for the preseason game and the combined scrimmage? Is there any personal goals that you want to accomplish, or just overall team goals, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, just executing at a high level. And I think for all of us, we all want to do that, but collectively being able to get into game flow and see how, not just in certain team racks where you work in certain situations, but in true move the ball, how you can build momentum, build flow, not just for, me as a quarterback, but for the whole unit. And I think that'll be good for us, going into Wednesday, but also Friday as well. Just me being myself, and being able to go out there and operate. And I think at the quarterback position, you make good decisions like that. The rest will come into play, and you want to showcase how you can operate within the system, and the rest will take care of itself. So that's what I want to be able to showcase, but more importantly, just us coming together as a team. I think it's a great opportunity for us all. I go back to just every single day it's individual of its own, and I think you want to collectively build days, but within that you want to be proud of certain reps, but you want to be proud of how there's opportunity to grow and correcting maybe a mistake once to the next time and continue to answer the bell that way. So for me, it's doing that and stacking it up. But the more reps, the more tries you get at it, the more confidence you build, and the ability to showcase what you can do slowly by just operating within the offense. You always want results, but I think more than anything, it's consistent results. So if you don't have a process you can truly hang your hat on, then you're leaving it up to chance, or maybe it's more inconsistent rather than having a strong process. And of course, how the game of football goes. There's a lot of positives. There may be some negatives, but there's also something to priding yourself on your process and how you work and how you approach it. And for me, I think you build up that process and you want to see results, and it will come. And definitely know that, like I just said, it's a results-based business, so you got to go do it. And that's why we always talk about no excuses. Know what to do and do it. So I think that's the approach, and knowing that you got to go out there and do it.
Head coach Kevin Stefanski mum on his plans for the practice against the Panthers on Wednesday in Carolina, as well as his plans for the preseason opener against the Panthers when it comes to playing time. However, they are getting ready to get down to Carolina and get some good quality work in. Stefanski, of course, a big fan of these joint practices. This is a first, though, doing it prior to the first preseason game. Next week, they'll be in Philadelphia. Here's the best bites from Coach on Monday prior to practice.
You know, we're going to miss our fans, but they've been terrific all camp. Our guys get a tremendous amount of juice from our fans, these young kids that are out here. It's been really a special few days out here, so I want to acknowledge our fans first and foremost. I'd say working through it, we'll hold some guys out of the game, but we're looking forward to the game. That's the fun part for our players to get down there and compete against the Panthers on Wednesday, compete against them Friday night, but we will hold some guys out. We'll do a couple different special teams periods to make sure we hit all 4 phases. We'll have a 7-on-7, a couple 7-on-7s. We'll have team. So it's again, first time that we've done it in week 1, so we won't do a 2-minute per se, which we'll do the following week in Philadelphia. Well, I think the fun part for us as competitors is you get to go against somebody else, and we have a ton of respect for Coach Canales and the Panthers, so we're looking forward to getting a really good day's work with them on Wednesday. And then the game is really fun for our organization. It's fun for our guys. They finally get to be out there and they're keeping score, and we get to put guys in different positions when it comes to situational ball and those type of things. So that first preseason game there's a lot of jitters, as there always is for the young men. But we'll talk to them about that. But great opportunity just to compete. I feel like there's value in everything, in what we're seeing from the guys. We value their how they do in the meeting room. We value how they are in the walkthrough, like I mentioned earlier. We value all these practice reps. Of course, when you're going up against another team and it's a setting where maybe you don't know exactly what the defense is going to do or the offense is going to do, I think there's certainly value created in that. And then in the preseason games, like I mentioned before, they're keeping score, so the competitive part of our sport kicks in, and you want to obviously do well in those venues as well. I mean, ultimately, this is a results business. This game is about results. We know that. But I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not hyper-focused on your process as a player, as a coach. Whether you have success in a given play or not, are you learning from that play? I mean, that all speaks to the process that allows you to play well on Sundays. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, but we're pretty process driven, and that another way of saying that is we take practice very seriously. we take the work we do in the building very seriously, and that all adds up to putting yourself in position to play good football. Standpoint of when you lose a guy for a good amount of time, you feel that's tough on the players, but the dealing with injuries, adjusting because of injuries, that's just part of the game.
So why did you schedule a first week joint practice this year as opposed to
looking at our, steal that word again, process, what we can do better, what other teams are doing, is there an opportunity to do something? So I can, I'll talk when I'm down there, but my relationship with Coach Canales, our relationship among the staff, like the scheme that they run on both sides of the ball will be good for our team. So there's a lot of positives to going down there. In some ways, yes, the preseason games, are great because they're opportunities in a controlled environment for your players. Now, there's some teams that don't play their starters at all in the preseason, and that's what they think is best for their team in that given moment. And think about, quarterbacks that play in the preseason. You're obviously not wearing a red jersey, so you're free game in those situations, whereas you're not in practice and/or a joint practice with another team. So I think those are all things that we weigh as coaches, trying to figure out what our team needs for a given season, for a given week.
Hall of Famer Joe Thomas was in the house on Monday as well, as he spent his day working with the offensive lineman. Good to see number 73, Joe Thomas, in the building. This was, of course, the final practice open to fans. The rest of camp will be closed unless, of course, they have certainly some VIP opportunities there. As far as some of the key situations that we got to see in Monday's practice, some late game situations with the offense down, needing a field goal to win. Joe Flacco performed pretty well, able to move the Browns easily into field goal range to get those kicks off. We got to see Sanders work in the drill as well. A couple of real nice throws from Shedeur. However, also a couple of plays in which he held the ball too long that resulted in some virtual sacks. So that's a wrap for the fan open portion of training camp now as the doors close and they head off to Carolina, where again they're going to practice against the Panthers on Wednesday. Preseason opener is Friday. Want to thank you as always for watching us on YouTube, and a reminder to subscribe to the 92.3 The Fan page, or channel I should say, there on YouTube as well. With the Browns at camp in Berea, I'm Daryl Ryder for Cleveland Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.